Alright guys, so in this video we're just going to go over some examples where we have models and we have to represent the percent based on what the question is asking. So this first question, it's asking what percent is represented by the region that is shaded? Exact answers only, no rounding. So if we notice, we have part and then the total. Of course, we know that this represents a fraction, the part and the total. So if we notice, we have 10 total parts. 10 total parts. But the number of parts that are shaded would be 7. Okay? So now we're looking for the percent. Of course, we know that if we have 7/10, that would be 70 hundredths. 0 and 70 hundredths. But remember, we have to find the percent. So when we're moving from decimal to percent, decimal point moves 2 places. And then that means this model is equal to 70%. Alright, easy, right? Let's try another. Alright, so in this question, what percent is represented by the region that is not shaded? Exact answer only, no rounding. Okay, so now, if you notice, the key word in this is not. So you have to make sure you read the question very carefully because it could have easily been an answer of 100%. But we're looking for the amount that is not shaded. So we know we have a total of 4, and the amount that is not shaded would be 0. So that means there's none shaded. So that would be 0%. Alright, let's try another one. Alright, so now this one is asking what percent is represented by the region that is shaded? Exact answers only. Now, if you notice, we have 4 different shapes, and that has 12 parts. So now we have the following. So each shape represents one whole. Or, in this case, 100%. And again, that's each shape that is completely shaded. So we have one, then we have another one, then we have another one. So if this one is 100, that means this one is likewise 100. And this one is likewise 100. But this one only has one part that is shaded. And I'm just going to represent my shaded part with an X. And I should have done that for all of these, so let me go back. Now, for this part of the model, remember we're looking at this as an entire model, not individually, but we're looking at it as an entire model. We have 1/3 of the model that is shaded. Now this 1/3, it's a very, very special fraction. If we convert that, that would equal 0 and 33 hundredths. But we have a line here because it is a repeating decimal. If you divide this out, it's just going to keep going and keep going. So we don't have to keep dividing. We can just represent this by a line over the second digit. Okay? So now we have to look and see what this would represent as a percent. Sorry about that. So now we move the decimal point two places, and that will equal 33%. So now we have to look at the total, and let me zoom out for a little bit. So we have 100, 200, 300, and 33%. So that means the entire model represents 333%. All right, let's try one more. All right, so now we have the hundreds grid. So what we're going to do, using the key provided above to determine the percent that is represented by the shaded area in the diagram shown below. So if we notice that the entire one that is shaded represents 100%. So in the first one, it is completely shaded. But in the second one, only a portion of it is shaded. So we know this one is completely shaded. So that's 100%. And if we just count the numbers that are shaded, that will represent the percent in the second diagram. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be 0 if we wanted to write it as a decimal in 76 hundredths. But if we wanted to write this as a percent, it would be 76%. So now we need to look in both models. So I'm going to come over here in both models. Okay? In both models. So now, since we are looking at both models, the total for those two models, if we just put the 2% together, 176%. All right. Make sure you guys are logging in, because after this video you will have some questions on Get More Math about representing percents given a model. Okay, hope you guys have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you're active on Schoology.